Cyberpunk, Utopia, Take 2, Section 1.
Yeah.
Welcome to Cyberpunk, Utopia, the podcast. I'm Teresa.
And I'm Paul. Happy 2025 and welcome to our second episode.
So we've been working on a ton of exciting content, which we'll be releasing over the next few months. But we wanted to take a minute, it's a new year, to look back at recent developments and to set out what we expect in 2025. Paul, so much has changed in the AI space in the last year, right? But what's one thing that stood out to you?
So one of the most remarkable developments for me was when the Nobel Prize for Chemistry was jointly awarded to AI researchers from Google, of all people. And it was for their contribution towards building entirely new kinds of proteins, the worker bees of organic life. And, this was something that was previously an almost impossible feat and a tangible example of how human creativity and AI are democratizing science.
I like how that embodies our concept of moving from possibility to probability, using new tools in the AI Lego kit, and I'm using bunny ears in case you can't see that.
Absolutely. Now, most of us aren't going to be designing new proteins, right? But I believe the mindset behind that is something we can all apply to our own projects, from staying healthy to entrepreneurship.
So, we've been alluding to this AI Lego kit concept. That's something we're going to introduce in the next few episodes, where we really go deep into emerging tools and skills that can help us do great things.
Looking forward to that one.
So what else has been happening in the AI space?
In the last 6 months, we've seen some major progress in reasoning. That means AI models that think through a problem step by step, kind of like we had to do when we learned maths at school. It's both exciting but also unsettling, because these advances in reasoning are bringing us closer to what could be true human-level artificial intelligence. And there's a race to get there between the US and China. Some people have started drawing parallels to the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, I've been watching this documentary on the Cold War arms race. It's crazy how similar we feel to that moment right now.
Sure, the parallels are there, competition between nation states and big egos.
It connects to something we've talked about before, this idea about technology mirroring humanity. One of my good friends puts it perfectly. AI is showing us both our light and shadow sides. You remember Watson, right? That big IBM project? That thing was racist within minutes. But look, where we are now, we've got systems that are almost, come on, dude, Canadian nice. I really shows the value and the bias get baked into the system. But it's how our capacity to learn and adapt.
Sure. So a major silver lining for me is how rapidly open source AI is closing the gap with closed systems, often by just a few months. This makes control over technology more decentralized and more democratized. We've decided those are two core values of the podcast, since they're essential to our mission of maximizing human agency.
Yeah, and we can break those concepts down for listeners. Let's start with democratization.
Right. So democratization is fundamentally about making the Lego kit more available to as many people as possible. So it has to do, whether it has to do with cost or accessibility aspects such as AI literacy skills. Technology has historically always been deflationary. It's made possibilities accessible to more and more people over time. And we really need to encourage that with AI.
Yeah, and I think a really good example is you and I sitting here in my living room with podcasting equipment that cost me $700. Oh, right, maybe 700 euros. But look, it sounds really great.
Right, along with infrastructure and platforms such as Spotify and YouTube, where everyone can start to put their content out there. However, it brings us to another shadow side, centralization. So today we depend too much on a small number of big tech companies that monopolize all the digital ecosystems.
Right, and I think nobody missed the front row in Donald Trump's recent inauguration. I mean, the whole thing was a bunch of tech bros. It made me feel so uncomfortable. The richest people in the world here. Where's the accountability, dude?
Well, this is where our second value comes in, decentralization, which in a nutshell means spreading development control across many different groups and individuals, rather than concentrating it in the hands of a few. This way, we all maintain more say of how AI is used in our lives, and various groups can keep each other in check. That's where open research and open source initiatives are for the win, even those out of China. And I'm happy to see Europe stepping up this week with the announcement of an open Euro language model.
Right. So moving on to the future, what do we expect for 2025?
Well, if 2024 was more about exploration, then I think 2025 is going to be about integrating AI into our lives and real-world applications. We're starting to see the first agents, which are systems that can take action to achieve a goal, and we'll be your guide to this brave new world.
I love how you frame that. And I think you and I are a bit ahead of the curve here. I'm going to toot my own horn. So instead of getting caught up in all that fear or, oh no, AI is coming, we can explore how it can actually enhance our lives. I call it automating my bullshit jobs so that I can get more agency over my most valuable resource, which is my time.
That's a powerful point about time agency. Even the tech bros don't have more of it than we do.
It's the ultimate lever, I'm telling you, man. And it's speaking about leveling the playfields. Paul, you mentioned something interesting about a global perspective on AI adoption.
Yeah, this is fascinating divide. According to recent surveys, people in developing countries are not only using AI more, but they're also significantly more optimistic about its potential to improve their lives.
That's really interesting. Maybe it's because people in developing countries see AI as a way of leapfrogging over existing challenges and catching up in developing countries. Paul, what would you say to someone who's completely new to AI?
Well, it all starts with a prompt. So language, not just English, but any language, has become the new programming interface. So whenever I went back home to South Africa for the holidays, I was showing family members how to generate fun songs and images. And they can do that themselves, no technical background needed.
And that reminds me of something I've been experimenting with me personally. I've been using AI for emotional processing and idea organizations, and God knows I need it. I'm a divergent thinker. I can be all over the place. I can jump between ideas very quickly, and people didn't always follow me, and that hurt. But chatbots, these things are amazing in helping me structure not only my thoughts, but my feelings.
Nice. And for 2025, we're not going to just show, we're going to tell you how this all works. So, should we give our listeners a preview of what's coming up?
Let's do it, man.
All right, so we've got some fascinating deep dives planned. We already mentioned the upcoming AI Lego Kit episode, where we'll introduce our AI co-host. And then we'll be exploring what we're calling existential coping, so debating what this all means for humanity. And we'll also be interviewing some guests on their experiences with grassroots adoption.
And let's not forget my favorite activity, releasing some Chatty Tuesday coffee chat episodes where we go more into about ourselves, our home here in Amsterdam, and whatever rabbit hole takes us down.
Until next time, friends, keep exploring.
Stay curious.
And remember, it all starts with a prompt.
Subscribe to the Cyberpunk Utopia podcast, your guide to agency in an AI-augmented world.
Yeah.